Hi. Um, yeah, so we're back. We've got a lot of games coming up in the next few weeks. Four to be correct, I think. Um, First of all, there's this friendly coming up, which is what I'm going to talk about now. Before I start, yes, is if anybody who lives in the Queensland, Brisbane area, who wants Brisbane area, who wanted to go in Australia, who wanted to go to the game Japan versus Australia, and might be interested in buying my ticket, please contact me because my first exam is on that day. So I won't be able to fly up to Brisbane to see that game, which, as you can understand, is a huge disappointment. And I'm pissed off at the medical school for that. But yeah, point is I can't go, so if someone else wants it, give me a message or something. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, and that's on June 12th. Anyway, like I said, I've got exams, so I might the review of this game I'm gonna probably combine with the preview of the I think it's the Oman game. Yeah. Anyway, I'll dive right in. The squad for Japan was named. Let's see, we've got a 23-man squad. I'll talk about who's missing. I'll put the squad in the description below. But for notable people that aren't there, we have Maya Yoshida, who is unavailable because the other day he was involved in a relegation playoff with VVV, that hopeless team that he plays for. They won, so they're still in the first division next season. Next was Mike Havenar, who, on a better note, was involved in a UEFA Europa League playoff with Vitesse, and I don't know if he played or not, but they won. He's a guy that hasn't been getting a whole lot of game time for Vitesse, even though he's scored 5 goals in the limited time he has had. So, I don't know, we'll see what happens with him. But both those guys will be expected to be called up after this game for the qualifiers against Oman, Jordan, and Australia. Next is Yasuyuki Kono and Yasuhito Endo. Both of them are unavailable for reasons I forgot. I think it was something to do with Emperor's Cup, or I don't know, some cup. I think some domestic tournament. I forgot which one it was. Not Nabisco, because they wouldn't care for that. But yeah, anyway, the players weren't released for that. Yeah. Both of them from Gamba Osaka, of course. But again, I'd expect both of them to be included in the next squad, particularly if their replacements don't do very well. Anyway, for inclusions, this is a much more interesting list. We'll start with defenders. We have Yuhei Tokunaga from FC Tokyo and Hiroki Sakai, the former of which some of you may remember from the Takeshi Okada era. He got a few call-ups, I think in 2010 and a bit of 2009. I don't think he never made enough of an impact to really become a regular squad member in front of Uchida, Nagatomo, and Komano. I think about 6 foot tall, physically okay. I don't rate him, if I'm honest. Anyway, next one is Hiroki Sakai. He was called up ahead of Gotoku Sakai, presumably. However, Gotoku Sakai is playing in Toulon tournament with the under-23 team fairly soon, so I'm not sure if Zach had a preference for Hiroki or not, but anyway, Hiroki Sakai, a lot of people have been talking about him. Everyone's excited about him. To be honest, I don't think there's any point, because a lot of people want him to replace Atsuro Uchida at right back. I'm not really sure he's ready yet. Oh, well, no, not ready, but better than Uchida at his best. Or even better than Gotoku Sakai at his best. or let alone, or for that matter, Yuichi Komano at his best. So, yeah, Japan has got a ton of side backs who are able to play right and left back. So I'm really not all that concerned when your first choices are Uchida and Nagatomo, and then followed by guys like Komano and Sakai, and Inoha can play there, so can Makino. The list goes on and on. So for side backs, we're set. So I'm not as excited as everyone else is about Hiroki Sakai, just because I think he's going to have a very hard time breaking through, especially to the starting lineup. I could be wrong, but I think Uchida would be the one to go if he breaks through. Anyway, on to midfielders. We got Hiroto Takahashi, and who I'll be honest right now, I know almost nothing about. I think I just know his height. No, I don't know his height. I forgot it. Hiroto Takahashi and Aria Hasegawa. The second guy, I've seen him play once. He's born, I think, to one Iranian parent, one Japanese parent, something like this. But obviously never capped by Iran. But I think he grew up in Japan, plays for FC Tokyo, so does Takahashi. And Hasegawa's a massive guy. He's, I think, 186 centimeters and high 70s in terms of weight. So yeah, and he plays that central midfield role, and so does Takahashi. What Zaccheroni expects from them, I'm not sure, really. I don't see either of them as replacements for Endo, just because I don't think either of them have the similar playing style. Hasegawa may be useful against a very physical team like Australia or something, but I don't know. We'll see what's going on. We'll get some answers in this Azerbaijan friendly. Next, all right, strikers. We got Morimoto, Haraguchi, and the two big ones, Honda and Miyaichi. Keisuke Honda, he's been out since roughly September last year. He had a brief comeback for like one game, but he's been pretty much out of the game for the last 9 months or so. Miyaichi play for Bolton. Everyone is excited about him. He's another one who I think will have a tough time because his preferred position is left midfield, and currently we've got Shinji Kagawa, who's much better at the moment at left midfield than Miyaichi. And whenever I've seen Miyaichi on the right midfield, where he did play for Bolton for the remaining few games, he was quite underwhelming because he wasn't able to use his pace properly, and he wasn't able to cut in as well. And I still think Okazaki's still better at that position because Okazaki's had a very good season. Honda, he looks, from what I saw recently, he looks to be in good form. I mean, not good form. He's only had one game, but 1 or 2 games. But I think he's back. I think he scored a goal recently. But we'll see with this friendly. This friendly is really about a warm up for the team, and maybe for Zach to assess options such as, especially guys like Miyaichi, maybe give Morimoto another go, and probably give Yuzo Kurihara a go at centre back in place of Yoshida. Kurihara's a guy I'm not a big fan of because for a big centre back, he's not exactly physically very adept. Yeah, we may see another 3-4-3 experiment from Zaccheroni. He's certainly got the players in his defenders to do that, especially guys like Sakai, Inoha, Makino. Those sort of guys can play on the side defenders in the back three. Yeah, so another good inclusion was Hajime Hosogai, and with Endo out, maybe he can have a go at central midfield alongside Hasebe or some other player such as maybe Kengo Nakamura or maybe Hasegawa. I don't know. This I looked around trying to find out what Zaccheroni might do. from some Japanese sports sites. I didn't get a whole lot of hints from it. I think he's just going to go out, tinker a few things as a final experiment, and probably try and get a good win on the board, like a 3-0 or something against what is frankly a pretty awful team on paper. Yeah. Okay, so there'll be more to talk about after the game. So thank you very much. And again, if you live in Brisbane and you want a ticket to that game, and you want to buy my ticket to the Japan-Australia game, it's in smack bang in the centre of the Japan supporter section at Suncorp Stadium. So let me know. Okay, thank you.